wasn't brought in on drunk and disorderly charges at least once a month, she started to worry. Not much, but she couldn't ignore the tiny soft spot in her heart for the vampire who transformed her from a basic human to a just as basic immortal.
"Ah, shucks, darling,"
Owen slurred as he stumbled closer, his beat-up shit-kicker scuffing the pristine hallway floors.
"Man's got to enjoy hisself."
"Problem is, you aren't a man." He leered at her good-naturedly.
"Give me just one night, I'll prove you wrong. Still have what it takes, sister."
She patted his scruffy cheek as the officer hustled him onto the elevator she'd just exited. "You had your shot, stud, and we know how that turned out. Lay off the sorority girls, m'kay? You know drinking from inebriated humans makes you tipsy, too. One day you'll get yourself into real trouble instead of just a night in the drunk tank."
"Oh, Lena,"
he mewed as the doors closed on his ripe odor, no doubt headed for the vampire cell blocks in the basement so he could sleep it off. 2 minutes wasted. On Owen's, of all people. She would have much rather spent the time debating the merits of second-hand clothes with Ryan, not that she had the time to do that either. Picking up her pace, Alena's heels clicked loudly on the polished marble floors. As a vampire, she normally didn't make noise when she walked, but she found shifters could be notoriously jumpy when a vampire approached them without making a sound, especially from behind. It was a simple courtesy that cost her little and gained the appreciation of her coworkers. Relief swelled in her chest when she caught sight of the other's defense office, but just as she reached for the door, a hand grabbed her from behind. Her fangs pulsed for a half-second before she swallowed her instinctive reaction. It was Iris Carlson, a vampire judiciary paralegal. Her brown eyes snapped, flickers of yellow fire bursting in her irises. She tucked a dark curl behind one ear, shifting from one foot to the other several times, clearly upset about something. "Alena, what moron thought it would be a good idea to give Devin Sinclair a case for judgment in front of a tribune for a vampire?" Alena gaped. "What?" See, this was the crap that happened when she was late. "That's what I said," Iris huffed, throwing her hands in the air. "There has to be a mistake. Sinclair's a wolf, for blood's sake, and he hasn't even passed the bar yet. The client will never see daylight again, guilty or not, with that puppy repping him. Was someone asleep when the assignments were handed out?" "Well, I certainly didn't assign him any cases, so it must have been Odafin," Alena replied grimly. "I can't imagine why. Hell, I'd do a better job than Devin, and I'm just Odafin's assistant." Iris frowned. "Girl, don't get down on yourself. You have more experience than most of the actual lawyers here, even if you're still a law student. That poor sap would be 1,000 times better off with you than Devin. I mean, come on. He couldn't even get into OC Law School. He went through the human education system." Warmth from borrowed blood flooded Alena's cheeks at the compliment. It wasn't really in her nature to toot her own horn, so she relied on supportive friends and colleagues to remind her that she wasn't a total loser, even if she felt like one most of the time. "Guess I'd better ask Odafin about it," she sighed and turned toward the door once again, but Iris stopped her again. "Not if you want the defendant to have a fighting chance. The triune's already been convened." "Are you shitting me? How did this happen? I checked the schedule this morning before I left, and Devin wasn't even slated to assist anyone, let alone open for a case." Iris gave her a helpless shrug. "By the blood, if Devin screws this up—" Alena glanced at the door one more time and then turned on her heel and headed back toward the elevators. "Wait, are you going up there?" Iris asked, eyes wide with surprise while she hurried to keep up. "Of course I am. I didn't join the other's defense office for the fame and fortune, my friend. I want to make sure everyone who needs a defense lawyer gets one, a good one. Not some wolf shifter with a store-bought degree from a no-name human school. Everyone knows Harbor Law School hands out degrees to whoever has a fat checkbook." "Harvard," Iris corrected. Alena flapped an unconcerned hand. "Whatever, they got nothing on Othercross University." Coincidentally, Alena's university. "Won't Odafin be pissed that you're interfering with his assignments, not to mention being hella late for work?" Alena mentally remapped her entire evening as they rushed back to the elevators, not bothering with clicking her heels this time. First, she'd do what she could to help the defendant.